Welcome back, folks. This is Tommy, Help with Gadgets, and we've got a really cool knife here to do a review of today. This is the Grimsmo Rask, and this one is actually on loan to me from Mo Patty. I want to say thank you to her for allowing me to take a look at this knife, do the disassembly and cleaning of, and you can check out that disassembly and cleaning video on my channel, and just be able to take a look at this really cool knife. So let's go ahead and get into it. We'll go ahead and get a overall measurement of it, or a measurement of the blade first. It's right at about 3.5 inches for the blade length, which is an excellent size in my opinion, and just a hair over 8 inches on the total length, overall length. Let's grab the scale and get that up here and get turned on and tear it out. We'll get a weight on this. So you're looking at 3.15, which is really good, especially for the size knife it is. So that's really good. All right, we'll go ahead and compare it to some knives that you may be familiar with. We'll start out with the classic QSP Penguin. We'll also do a CGRB Pyrite, which the Rask is longer than both of those. And I'm laughing because I can't do a reverse flick really well right now. I did cut myself, but it wasn't on this knife. Let's see. I can do a reverse flick. There we go. There's the Grimsmo Rask. Well, let's try front flipping that one. That's the busted acorn. All right. Get those out of the way. Let's go for the Kaiser Militao, and then also the Ozark Trail, amongst other names that some folks have come up with for it. And then let's check out the Spyderco PM2 and the Benchmade 940. So it's kind of along the lines of the similar length as that 940, and the PM2 is a little bit longer there. All right, as far as thickness, the Rask is not very thick. There it is against the PM2. There it is against the Benchmade 940. So similar, but the 940 is just a hair thicker. Let's see here. The Militao is going to be a good bit thicker, as you can see there. And QSP Penguin, we'll check one more after this. QSP Penguin's a little bit thicker. And then here is the Pyrite, which is just right at about the same. We'll go ahead and keep this one out while we're looking at it. That's how it would show in pocket, or that's how it would go in pocket. All right. So not a terribly big knife as far as thickness, height, and thickness. So, all right. So that was the Grimsmo Rask. Let me actually show you what it looks like in pocket here. Get a pair of pants and slide in there. As you can see, not terribly hard to slide in and out of pocket. Looks really nice. You've got the logo there on the pocket clip, so that's pretty cool. All right, next up, blade steel. It is, well, let's look at it this way. It is RWL34 for the blade steel, and you've got also the Rask and the serial number there. So pretty cool. It's kind of a stonewash finish. Get up in there and show that kind of close up. So my preferred blade finish. No lanyard hole, and I don't think you would want to put them on the standoffs there. I don't think that would work too well. Jimping, it has none. It's fairly smooth, fairly simple. We'll get some close-ups while we're talking about that of this awesome milling on the scales. and how that milling carries over into the pocket clip as well. So that's really neat. Opening methods, pretty much this is it. You have a flipper, and that's pretty much it. Does it work really well? It works really well, and the action on it is fall shut. The price on this bad boy, you're looking at about, I think it's $990 for the base model, and then any options that you get, such as different colored hardware or anything like that, tends to raise the price just a little bit. So, but right there at $1,000. D10 on this thing, great. As I mentioned, the action is on point. The only other knife, or only other Grimsmo that I've had to review was a Norseman, and it was really good as well as far as the action. Lockup is right there. I'd just like to show that. No blade play side to side, up and down, but I have disassembled and cleaned this knife, so there is that. Scale material, of course, is titanium, and as I showed before, this has got a really cool milling pattern. Really looks nice. This is just a really good knife. Fits in the pocket really nice. Very thin. It's not got any edges on it if you've got something else in that pocket and you're going to reach in and get it. Nothing else to mess with messing your hand up or being uncomfortable. What else can we talk about this knife? Access to the lock bar is really good. As you can see right there, and I'll show you again right there, access to that lock bar is really good. Tolerances, look at that. Just look right there. That's very cool. Really good craftsmanship on this, and price shows it. So, what do I think about this knife? I really like this knife. If I had an unlimited amount of money, or let me just say, if I had a larger knife budget, this would probably be one that I would try to put into the collection, simply because I don't normally like the one opening method, but this works really good, and it's a really cool knife. So I like that one. So this would be one that I would say yes on. Hope y'all have enjoyed this brief review. Oh, by the way, I want to mention these are made in Canada, so right here in North America. So that's another cool thing about it. Anything else that I can think of? You've got some significant weight reduction here on the inside on both sides. There's also some additional information right here, as you can kind of see the writing there, but check out my disassembly and cleaning video, and I'll show the insides where it makes everything a lot clearer. So hope you've enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so. Hope to see y'all again soon. I really appreciate you watching. Thanks.